Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gold. This is Gold Videos. Yes, we will be continuing with Vinland Saga episode 3, baby. Now, if you don't know, they dropped all of these at the same time. I've watched them back to back, or fairly close to back anyway. And hopefully, if you guys have enjoyed this, you've let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, episode 1 and 2 will have been out. And then episode 3 I'll probably put out the following day. Unless, of course, you're watching this on Patreon, in which case you've already seen all 3 because they probably went out together. Because for some reason, the next Vinland episode isn't until the end of July. So I've got plenty of time to decide if I'm going to continue to react to this series. And hopefully you guys are going to let me know whether or not that is something that you would like for me to do. So with that said, let's dive into episode 3. Last episode, we basically found out that Chors has been summoned to war, but he maybe hasn't actually been summoned to war. And that his friend, stroke, rival, stroke, frenemy has hired people to kill him. And that person is Floki, which sounds a lot like Loki. And Chors is basically Thor. And it's all about Vikings. So it's kind of like, I don't think those names are accidental. So with all that said, let's dive in and see what happens next. Because I've got a funny feeling that this is either going to be very emotionally charged. Or it might even have some action in it. But I don't know. Depends what the episode decides to focus on. I mean, Thor's son, whose name escapes me, he's having a bit of a rough time trying to deal with all of this, so there's lots of different things going on. Let's just watch it and find out. 3, 2, 1, go. Troll! Oh, and it's finishing pretty much where the last one ended. Okay. Yeah. Why didn't he kill him if orders were issued to execute him? Or did he not want to because they used to be friends, maybe? Or does he actually expect Chors to wipe them out and reignite the fire inside of Chors and make him a fighter again? Oh! He had a man hiding there. I see. Okay, so they're not just a load of drunks. Interesting. She doesn't seem impressed by your words, dude. I don't think she has any clue what you were going to say, because she's not really with it. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, can you try somewhere else? I've already had one person pledge their love to me today. Ah, okay. That makes more sense, in inverted commas. Well, that'll annoy them too. I can bring back... Oh, that's why he only wants 5 men. I was gonna say, you gotta row, lads. There we go. Chors is doing the whole of one side of the boat on his own. What? I was gonna say, what's he made of? Freaking iron? And that's them out of energy. What the hell is that guy doing on the left? He's seasick because he's never been in the sea before. Welcome, my friends, to the wonderful world of sailing. You've only just got started and you're already completely and utterly wiped out. Oh yes, he's hiding in the barrel. Everybody's just stunned. It's like, what? It's an assassination. Ah, Floki is so it is personal. That's what I said. Because he expects most of you to die in the attempt. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said. I hope he's a fun guy. Well, you might get more than you bargained for, or you might not. We'll have to wait and see. You know, I know that this is set in Norway, but it does make me chuckle, this obsession with a lot of anime. That boys have to do something to become real men. It's not just a physical change that happens regardless of what you do with your life, apparently. But I like the fact that he saw straight away why he wants to do this. It's to get his daughter's affection. So she's the daughter of the leader. And I like the way that they keep referring to whoever this person is as the leader. That's when it started. When you saw a bait, when you brought a life into this world, all of a sudden, you couldn't take them so easily. Happens quite a lot in real life. See what I mean? It has this way of just sneaking up on you, these really nice sort of intimate moments. And the music as always, so far, is really good to match it. Oh, I love it. I love how their enthusiasm for the adventure is waned the second they've got on ships. Is this where they're gonna get ambushed? This is a very good spot to be ambushed. Yeah, you've got cliffs on either side of you. See, this is kind of changing my theory about how this is going to go down now. Because I got a funny feeling the kid is going to survive and end up joining these wonderful band of brigands, but that pretty much means everybody is going to get slaughtered in a second. Yeah, they're ever so slightly outnumbered. They might be, even if the young ones do turn out to be pretty good fighters, they're definitely not going to do much, in inverted commas. Now, is that Thor's sighing because he's going to surrender and give himself up? Or is he sighing because in order to save everybody, he's got to kill a load of fools? Because it looks like it could be the latter. Uh-oh. I don't think you want to do that. I think you do want to take them all on at once. That was a hell of a jump. How the hell did he do that? He's just knocking everybody out in one punch. We have found Saitama's ancestor. Well, yeah, I think it's safe to say that everybody knows who he is. Oh, what? God damn it! Come on! Oh, we gotta wait! We gotta wait until the 28th of July! I was like, yeah, man, okay, what's gonna happen next? It didn't even feel like it's been 20 minutes. 23 minutes, in fact! Sorry, it's even longer than I thought it was. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the final piece of the trifecta that was the very strange premiere for Vinland Saga, and of course, it's on a frickin' cliffhanger! But other than that, the episode itself was pretty decent. I thought that was a good episode. I liked seeing the dynamics between the Jom Vikings, the bandits, or the pirates, whatever name they're taking. The way that they knew that Maid had hit a man in his room was pretty cool. And that the guy from outside chucked the spear and, you know, hit him dead in center. So I would be very curious to understand how exactly Maid from the outside knew that he was there. But, it made it pretty impressive. So that was kind of cool. Then, obviously, we had the moment where the pirates realized that the guy that they're going to kill must be pretty decent. Because that's the only reason he could think of that Loki would want to hire somebody else to do the job when he is in command of a very strong legion of Jom Vikings. But obviously he doesn't want to have to explain how so many of them get killed when trying to take out Thor's. And the funny thing is that if this is the case, doesn't that kind of lend credence to what I said in the way that Floki and Thor are kind of like Loki and Thor? Because Loki is making this personal and he's going after him, and they keep referring to the leader but never by name. And I've got a funny feeling that whoever this leader is going to be a reveal when it happens. But we did get some more information that Helga is actually, I think that's her name, but Thor's wife is actually the daughter of the leader. So the plot thickens even more. So it's like, okay, so clearly Thor's was very, close with the leader, because they must have seen each other a lot, because he was essentially his son-in-law. So there's a lot that needs unpacking here. I mean, I don't really know enough about Viking history or culture to know whether or not these characters are based on people that actually lived, or famous stories or fictional stories, or if there's similarities to the names of Norwegian gods is actually a case of they are trying to make those parallels. It's not by accident. But then I can't think of anybody by the name of Helga off the top of my head, but then I don't really know who Thor ends up with, if he ends up with anyone, or if this is all original. But either way, it could be completely irrelevant, and the naming just might be someone thought of it and thought it'd be hilarious. It could just be a case of the names are not actually important. But with that said, it was kind of nice to see him at the end there actually open up on some people and prove that even though he hasn't been in a fight for a while anyway, he is very much still capable and can take people out of the fight with one punch, which was quite amusing. We also got to see the mixed emotional reaction to realizing that his son has stowed away. On the one hand, he was very angry. On the other hand, kind of happy, I suppose, that his son is there, and it was kind of nice for him to see his reaction to being out on the open sea, which is what he's always wanted. But on the other hand, he had to punish him because, you know, he's defied what he's been told to do, and he understands, unlike his son, that he's now put himself in a very dangerous position where you are at risk of dying, and it's like literally less than 24 hours, and they're already in a situation where everybody may be learning the hard way that the life of a warrior is not one of adventure and excitement. It's normally one depressing crawl from a bloodfest to another. Especially back then, you know, they get tired just by having to row the boat. Well, you get through all of that, and then you're expected to fight against other people who also want to kill you. So, you know, it's never as nice and romanticized as it is in books and stories. That said, I do like the way the characters responded to everything. I also quite like Leif, because obviously a lot of people were taking the mick out of Leif, but in this episode he was very much not affected. He's clearly been through a lot of stuff in his life, and I think in reality he isn't that bad of a fighter either. And even if he isn't necessarily the greatest fighter on the planet, I think he has been through the ringer enough times, and he's been out at sea, he's probably had to deal with pirates and all sorts, that he's not going to just, you know, be unable to unsheath his sword because his hand is shaking so much, like Ari unfortunately was. But, you know, they're young guys, they've never experienced anything like this before, and it's the normal reaction, and it's very unusual for something like this to actually show that. I feel that this is a very mature anime, and that's why I kind of like it. Like, this episode really gripped me, and I'm sure when I go back and edit this, there are going to be whole sections where I'm just not doing anything other than just... Because it does have that effect on you. It just pulls you in, and it's just... I really like it, but I'm not... Like I said, I'll definitely react to episode 4 when that comes out, because I want to, you know, I think we all need to see what happens next. But do let me know down in the comments, do you think is it going to be one that you want me to react to? Yes, I know that some of you guys will have answered this on episode 1 and episode 2, but some of you won't have. Maybe you're only now, you know, you've waited and you're watching 1, 2, and 3 together. I don't know, but I would very much like to know. See, I'm kind of torn. On the one hand, I do want to keep reacting to this, and on the other hand, I'm kind of like, this might be a sort of show that might be better to just watch on my own and not bother about reacting to it, because I don't know how good it's going to be for reactions. But maybe I'll leave that up to you guys. Let me know either way. I thought it was quite interesting as well, seeing Thor's in the flashback talking about when his daughter was born, because he was very different. He wasn't the way he is now. He was very nonchalant. He didn't really have much regard for his kid. And, you know, even the way he was holding her, which was giving me up freaking palpitations. It was like, support her head. And I love the fact that the two, like, well, I'm going to call them midwives, but they probably have a different name. But you know what I mean. They were, like, panicking, but they also didn't want to, like, go against him because he's probably so well known as a warrior that you don't want to cross. And it's like, no, just do it. Put him in his place! Made funnier by the fact that literally 3 minutes later, his wife did exactly that. And he, you know, he was like, in all the years we've been together, that's the only time she's been mad. The only thing I do find a bit odd, he said that they've been together for 15 years. But he also said, I'm sure, that he abandoned the military 15 years ago. So, did the fight that we see in the first episode happen straight after she was born? But surely they were together before they had the baby. Because, you know, I'm like, the timeline doesn't add up there. Or I've misread one of the subtitles and I'm remembering it wrong. But either way, that's a little nitpick. But I did think that when he said that. I'm like, that don't make sense. I also think his wife was, like, bigger looking in the flashback. I don't mean because she was pregnant. I mean, like, she seemed to have a bigger frame in general. Like, she looked more Viking-y. Whereas in this, like, when we see her in the current time, she seems like a very small woman. And his daughter is not. Like I said before, she's very well built. She's physically strong, which clearly has not gone unnoticed by all of the men in the camp, because all of the boys are vying for her affections upon when they return, and she doesn't seem interested in any of them, as is so often the way. But it does make me chuckle that, you know, I just really did like that sequence of everybody coming to try and basically ask her to wait for them and then potentially marry them when they return. And it's like, yeah, you're not actually going to war if it had gone to plan, so your whole idea of bringing her back stuff from England wouldn't have worked anyway, which is clearly what they were all going to do. But that did make me chuckle. It was a nice bit of comedy in an otherwise very serious episode, I thought. So that's Vinland Saga. There isn't going to be another one for a few weeks. There will be more Fire Force, and depending on how much stuff I get done, I might check out Dr. Stone as well, but I'm in no rush. A couple people have said that they would like to see me check it out, but it hasn't like I've been inundated with requests. And everybody else that I see on other reactors channels, they're talking about Fire Force and they're talking about Vinland Saga. So I find that interesting. Maybe Dr. Stone is a slow burn. I know that Chibi reviews that I watch, he said that basically the three to watch is going to be Stone, Fire Force, and Vinland Saga. Potentially, he hadn't seen Vinland Saga yet when he said that, but I do find it interesting that everybody seems to be talking about these three specifically. I don't know what else there is to air. I do know that there is some stuff still airing, like Demon Slayer, I think is the English name, Mitsu no Yaiba, but I would like to watch that one, but I also know it's another copyright issue one, so I'm not gonna start another anime until some of the other stuff I'm doing in the background is completed. There are some anime that are only happening over on Patreon at the moment, and there are anime that I have finished, say the first season to, that I need to go back to. So I don't want to start another season unless I watch it all, and then when I've hit the last episode, that's when the first episode will start airing, because that way then I'm not gonna be behind when the postings start. But obviously I didn't realize that Demon Slayer, I think that's what it's called, is still actually airing. I thought that one was a short anime. It's not. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. At the moment I'm content with Vinland Saga and Fire Force, but either way guys, that's going to be it from me. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought of these 3 episodes, obviously, on YouTube. Just let me know what you thought of this episode, because fingers crossed you'll have let me know what you thought of episode 1 and 2 over on episode 1 and 2's video. But that's going to be it from me. As always, my name is PsychoGold. If you want to check out my social media or my Discord, the links are in the description below, along with my Patreon. So, description is a good place to go if you want to know more. But that is literally the end of the video now, as always. I am PsychoGold, which I've already said, and I will see you in my next video. PsychoGold out.